How you doing? My name is Mulder and welcome to our Minecraft Dungeons gameplay tips and tricks final video. In this Minecraft Dungeons gameplay tips and tricks video, I'll go over what kind of gear I have for my character currently at level 33, along with what powerful enchantments and artifacts I'm using, what two artifacts work great together when playing with a friend or a group, and finally we will show you how to take down the final two bosses in the game, the Arch-Illager and the Heart of Ender. All that and more straight ahead. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for a lot more. Without further ado, let's take a dive into Minecraft Dungeons gameplay tips and tricks final video. Let's talk about my level 33 character's gear. I'm currently running the Fang of Frost, which has Echo, which allows me to do an extra attack every time I use it, comboing that with Exploding, which every time I kill an enemy, it automatically explodes, which is excellent for taking out mobs or groups of enemies at once. As for my armor, I'm using Renegade Armor. Current enchantment is Deflect, which automatically deflects any arrow or energy blast right back to my enemy, and Potion Barrier, which every time I drink a health potion, which allows me to take 90% damage reduction for a short bit of time. As for my bow, I'm using Sabrewing, with Growing, which increases the damage output of my single arrow the further my target is away from me, and comboing that with Gravity, which automatically pulls my opponent towards me but also does heavy damage along the way. As for my artifacts, I'm currently using Wonderful Wheat, which summons a cute cuddly llama which automatically spits at a distance and kills my opponents for me, Totem of Regeneration, which planting this thing on the ground automatically heals both me and my allies standing within its circle, and finally Fireworks Arrow, which shoots a fun firework that automatically detonates on impact, doing heavy damage. Now this gear is pretty fun to use, but actually what's really good to use are these two artifacts when playing with a friend or in a group. The artifacts I'm talking about comboing with is Totem of Regeneration and Totem of Shielding. These two artifacts are great to combo with, especially at higher tier difficulties and in boss battles. When one of you drop the Totem of Shielding, it automatically blocks any incoming enemy attacks. This doesn't prevent enemies from charging into the shield and trying to get you while you're inside, but that's when the Totem of Regeneration needs to spawn in. The Totem of Regeneration can keep you and your allies healed and continue to gain more health as you fight on. We continue to use these two artifacts in great success as we continued along the story and taking on the bosses, especially at higher tier difficulties. These two artifacts saved our butts so many times I can't even tell you. You should definitely give them a try together. Now let's finally talk about the final two bosses you're going to face in this game so far, the Arch-Illager and the Heart of Ender. When you take on the Arch-Illager for the first time, he has three special abilities. The first is that he will summon a group of minions that will have crossbows where if you don't take them out quickly, they can do heavy damage, especially if you're a higher tier of difficulty. So try to take these guys out as soon as you possibly can. He can teleport across the battlefield once you've struck him with either a bow or your melee weapon, and he can shoot energy blasts out of his staff that can do a decent amount of damage. The best way to take out the Arch-Illager is to close the distance with him. Whether you're playing by yourself or with a friend, try to focus on taking out his minions the moment they spawn in. Once the minions are down, immediately make a break for the Illager. Don't concern yourself so much with the energy blast. Try to either dodge them, or if you have Deflect on your armor like I did, the blast can actually bounce off of you and head right back to him, doing more damage. Use your melee weapons on him and you'll drop his health down in no time. Which then leads to the next boss battle, which is called Heart of Ender. This boss is much stronger than the Arch-Illager. The Heart of Ender has four special abilities. The first is that he can fire energy cubes out of his mouth that once they land on the ground, they immediately explode, doing splash damage. He leaves a trail of dark energy wherever he goes that if you step in this dark energy, you'll immediately take some damage. The next is he fires 4 energy beams out of his body that can circle around the battlefield for a short period of time that can easily kill you and your allies really quickly if you don't get out of the way. And finally, he's able to summon 5 mini heads onto the battlefield. Once these heads show up, they can shoot laser beams out of their mouths, where if you're caught into these blasts, you'll immediately take some heavy damage or just flat out die. During this boss battle, this is where your Totem of Regeneration and Totem of Shielding is going to save your butt. The Totem of Shielding can block those energy beams while they're being shot at you, and because this boss can deal heavy damage in almost any attack it does, the Totem of Regeneration can save your life. I recommend not trying to get too close to the Heart of Ender when trying to use a melee weapon. You do more damage with a melee weapon than you do with your bow, but keep in mind that because this thing is covered with dark energy, getting too close or getting hit by the trail of dark energy it leaves behind when you're fighting it can do heavy damage to you, depending upon your level. Try to use any type of artifacts you have that can shoot this thing from a distance. A high-powered bow will also do the trick as well. When the Heart of Ender summons his mini heads onto the battlefield, they will shoot their beams of energy wherever you last stood. Keep moving across the battlefield so these beams of energy don't stay locked onto you, and continue to shoot the Heart of Ender from a distance. Try to take your time throughout this battle, and move in for a melee strike only once or twice before backing off before it tries to chase after you, and you will be able to take down the Heart of Ender in no time. If you're playing with a friend, have one of them try to distract the Heart of Ender while the other either shoots its bow from behind or moves in for a melee attack. This is one of the fastest ways you can take down this boss in the end. And that's it, you've officially beaten Minecraft Dungeons. Thank you all so much for watching our Minecraft Dungeons gameplay tips and tricks series. We'll probably drop another video on this game pretty soon showing much later gear and later artifacts we've unlocked along with better weapons once you've beaten the game, so be sure to stick around for that. But for now, I hope these tips and tricks video series helps you out the most. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for a lot more. We'll be covering more games very soon, so stick around and I'll see you next time.
Great heroes saved the day and vanquished evil. Thanks to you, all was well. Until it wasn't.